A lot of life experiences she's going to share with us. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
I am fantabulous. Now, I want to ask you because you were a teen mom, am I correct?
That's correct.
So did this inspire you to start this organization, Women Empowering Women? Because being a teen mom is extremely challenging.
Yes and no. What really started the organization is because my mother was a survivor of domestic violence.
Okay.
So coupled being a teen mom and in a household with domestic violence, that's what stemmed the inception of the organization.
So did your mom get away from it at some point? How did it go in your household growing up first?
Well, in the household, our household, we didn't know. One, we quote unquote, poor. She had 6 children at the time, but worked. My mother and father, they worked. However, my father, the abuse started when there was alcohol. He was, drinking all the time. And drugs, and everything escalated on the weekend. Monday through probably Thursday, it was quiet as a mouse. The weekend, everything was popping off. So we just never knew when that type of abuse would take place on the weekend based upon how much substance he had intake.
What happened after that? Did you leave the house? Did you get pregnant? What happened after that?
What happened? No, I didn't leave the house. I was actually 15 when I got pregnant. Unfortunately, it was a cycle because my mother had me when she was young. And that was, of course, as a parent who's trying to direct their children in a different way, for your child to get pregnant at the same age that you've gotten pregnant, it was a little heartening and disappointing. I didn't leave home. I ended up getting pregnant at 15, and I was adamant. I was adamant of graduating and making something out of myself because of what had encountered in our household with the abuse, my mother being young, working, just trying to make it ends meet. Focus was get your education. Do the best that you can. You can't change it. You love your child and you love yourself. You got to. One, I had to forgive myself for making that mistake because that was a great mistake that could really impact my life, but not knowing that it was very impactful for my life.
So as you counsel others, you, I'm sure, can share that with them because I'm sure a lot of young mothers, you do feel like, oh my God, I've ruined my life.
Yes. I have the opportunity because when I really believe, Lynne, when we go through certain things in our lives, it becomes a point of contact when we're trying to encourage someone else. They have a visual to say, wow, I'm talking to someone who has experienced what I've experienced. So it lets me know that I encourage someone to say, this is just temporary. Yes, it looks like your world is falling apart, but I'm telling you, with the right support, and that's what I had, a good support system in the midst of my mistakes. And some of these young women do not have that. Where's your support system? And they may say, well, I have a strained relationship with my family. So we begin to encourage the individual to say, but there's a lot of help out here. You're not alone. Let them know that we're not alone. And also the things that we're able to contribute to their lives, whether about mentorship, just tangible items, intangible things that we can do to support them along their way so they can become self-sufficient and make it and really know that the situation that they are in is only temporary.
So tell us a little bit about the organization, Women Empowering Women, the Next Generation Ministries.
So the organization was created back in 2005. And like I stated earlier, it was based upon my life experience. Called some friends of mine, and we just do life together. And I said, this is what I wanted to do. One, I did that because I knew some of the ladies in the organization had succumbed to the counseling as well. And I began to share what I wanted to do and what I wanted to provide. A safe place. It started out where I'm like, I really want to be able to have a safe place to the safe place. Because sometimes the safe place get compromised. And knowing that there is a place that women can come and just exhale to say, I'm just going through and I just need a safe place to express how I feel. Or I need a place where I can get someone to direct me to where I need to be because what I'm going through is going to require a team of individuals to assist me. Talking about right now domestic violence, it's that some aspect of what we do, we cannot really service that individual because of limited skill sets. So what we have to do is say, we're going to do our best to get you to a point. So now we need to pass you on to the next person that we co-labor with and partner with so you can have a total wraparound service, because when it comes to the part, there's a part of mental health that takes place where if trauma is involved in the experience, then there's some trauma-informed care that you may need. Well, we're not licensed in this, so we're going to get you to the right place. So it's about having that support system where we know where we start and where we end. Because if we try to take on an area that's not our specialty, then we can damage that person.
Oh, absolutely. You can do that. We are talking to Cynthia McCarter-Williams. She created the organization Women Empowering Women, the Next Generation Ministries. Now, when you say safe place, creating that, what does that mean?
That means, to me, a safe place is a place where there's honesty is going to be there. There's going to be trust. There's going to be a place where I can exhale, knowing that when I come to Women Empowering Women, if anything that's shared with Cynthia McCarter-Williams or any of the ladies is going to be in confidence, that I'm not going to hear it in the streets. And oftentimes when we're talking about, now we're talking about healthy relationships, Lynne, where I know that that's something that we have to build that rapport with individuals, build relationships, and knowing that whatever I need at that moment in my life, I can come to Women Empowering Women based upon what I tell them and what is needed, that it's going to be safe. It's going to be safe, or they're going to get me to where I need to be in the right space where I feel safe. It's about that individual feeling safe.
So let's talk about some of the services and programs you offer at Women Empowering Women, the Next Generation Ministries.
Okay, one of the services that we provide is called the Hope Project. I'm so excited about that one. The Hope Project is designed, again, for we are that bridge for that single mom or that mom who has escaped from domestic violence and they find themselves in shelters with your children, or they was homeless. And homelessness, of course, it comes in many, many forms. Individuals can be burned out of their home and they find themselves in a shelter. They're homeless, have nothing. So our Hope Project is designed to provide a beautiful, decorated space for that mom and her children, or that single mom, whoever they may be, as they transition back into their own place to become self-sufficient. We are there to be that bridge, to be the gap filler, to assist them with furnishings, those essential items that they may need, because oftentimes when we service our clients, the only thing that they have is an air mattress or a pillow and a blanket. We have the opportunity to build relationships with the families by providing those items for them to be able to have a bed to sleep on, have a sofa, have a table where they can feed their family, and we provide an opportunity for them to breathe. Once you can breathe, you can do a whole lot of things. When you can exhale and say, I can now focus on my family, creating a healthy family dynamic, that's different. We're talking about providing resources where the families, and I know I'm being a little redundant, but I want to stress that those resources to those families so they can exhale, so the families can focus on their financial health, their mental health, and their overall health. All of it in a nutshell. It's being healthy in every aspect of life.
So how can we, the community, help you continue to build on a project like the Hope Project?
Many, many ways. One, of course, financial contributions. Just advocate and share about what we do. Provide those household items. All things home, if I would say it like that. because anything that you would want in your home, and Lynn, one of the things that we do is we go in and we fix it as though we live there. It doesn't matter where you live, but the inside gonna say, this is a place that I love coming home to. It's a place that I call home. It's a place that I can open my doors up and feel proud about my space. We don't just put anything in a house just to say that we did something for the community. We fix it as though we live there, because at any given time, and we always say this, we never know when the table turns and it's us.
I hear you. A lot of us are just one paycheck away from being homeless ourselves. What are some items that, like, are at the top?
We always need sofas and beds. We need those twin mattresses, those stools, I always tell people pillows, but they're like, pillows, that's a little minute thing. I said, but when you're sleeping on the floor and don't have anything, a pillow is like a piece of steak.
It sure is, because it's hard sleeping on the floor without one.
Yeah, so any furniture stores that are looking to partner, any organizations, women's ministries, we believe in co-partnership, because those resources we pull together and make a greater impact in the lives of individuals that we serve. But I do want to share one other thing that we have. It is our career boutique. And the career boutique, specifically for women, where we have attire, free attire, everything is for the workplace, for women who are starting with a fresh start, going back into the workplace, but don't have the clothing and the shoes. So we open it up for the community as well, so they can come in and shop, because a lot of times, if you're so busy taking care of your family, a lot of times women, we forget ourselves. So we create an experience for the women to come in and shop, to get nice things that the community donates to us. In other organizations, a lot of things we get are new. People bring things in, and it's still, the tags are still on the hanger. And again, everything that we do, we try to do it as though it's something that we will want. When we go through the clothing, it's not a great fit for our career boutique. When we do our community outreaches, we make sure we put those items in the community so it's readily available for the community as well. So nothing is wasted.
It doesn't sound like it. Let me get this, because people are going to want to contact you. So what is your contact information?
They can reach us at 214-238-0073. Hey, we are located at 4549 South Westmoreland. They can reach us on our website, wewinc.org. Again, wewinc.org. Follow us on Facebook, Women Empowering Women, or WW Inc., Instagram, WW Inc., and it's X now. Used to be Twitter.
Yeah, X.
So many ways that they can reach us, and we take volunteers. We love volunteers, because that's what makes what we do be impactful, because we have the opportunity to have the community involved in what we do.
I'm going to stop you right there, because we're going to come back and talk some more, because I can see you got a lot to say and I want to hear it. And we'll be back with Cynthia McCarter-Williams with Women Empowering Women, the Next Generation Ministries. Welcome back. We are talking to Cynthia McCarter-Williams with Women Empowering Women, the Next Generation Ministries. So we talked about the Hope Project. What other projects does your organization have that you help young women, young mothers in particular?
We also have our life skills and soft skills, where individuals can come in and interview with them, go over interview processes, so that them ready for the workplace, especially when you've been out and things have happened in life and you're not sure of your skill sets. And I would do that all the time with young ladies who may have worked in retail, and they're like, well, the only thing I know how to do, Miss Cynthia, is do the cashiers. I said, oh, girl, and cashier, and don't you know you have customer service skills? You have to interact with individuals every day. You have 10 keys, because you have the opportunity to work those keys. So I began to pull out just the things that they think is minute and it's not meaningful, to let them know you've already building some skill sets. You're dealing with inventory control, because you got to manage the stuff that come in and out of the stores. So they're like, oh, I didn't see it that way. So we have the opportunity to pull the strengths out of individuals and the weakness to say, okay, this is a weak area, but we can fix that. Let's hone in and see how we can turn that weakness into a great asset that you can use.
So Do you have empowerment classes? Is that like a part of an empowerment class?
It is. It's been lying dormant, but it's being activated as we kind of have to shift some things around. But we do have empowerment sessions. We do chat and choose, where that's where we come in as girls and sit around and let's just talk about it. Let's what's going on in your life, based upon what the individual. No one is prompt to share anything, but if they feel the need to share, because one thing that we realize is when we have the opportunity to share, is we share from our heart what's going on with us or what we've experienced. Someone may be sitting in the midst of us and never say anything, but just us being candid about our life story will help them along the way, and they may come to one of us outside of the meeting and say, wow, I was really going through, I did want to share, and that's okay, but I want to let you know how you helped me.
And that is very helpful, because a lot of times I know I've been in situations where I've just listened and didn't say anything, because you're listening and you're really taking it all in. What about a challenge building what you've been building? What are some of the challenges that maybe the community can help with? What's a challenge that you've dealt with?
Oh, wow. A challenge, Lynn, is having a truck to navigate and get things to our clients. And a lot of times, sometimes that's a challenge, is that we may not have the necessary resources at that time, but we don't let that stop us. We have to do what we have to do. But if we can get a box truck or a van truck that is ours, because right now that's our challenge, is to getting those resources to the individuals when we want to get them to them. Sometimes we may want to do it within that week, but we may have to wait based upon what's going on, and it'd be the next week. So for me, having that readily used vehicle to get those items to the clients is a challenge for me. Secondary, we will always say we can never get enough of monetary donations, but to me, those are the main two challenges that we face within the organization.
So it would be nice for a dealership to say, hey, we're going to donate this truck to your organization. Women Empowering Women, the Next Generation Ministries, right?
Yes. We need a truck.
Now, Cynthia, give us your contact information in case somebody wants to donate a truck.
Okay, they can reach us at 214-238-0073, or they can reach us via our website, wewinc.org. 214-238-0073 is our phone number, or you can reach us via the website, wewinc.org.
Another event you offer is your Pajama Praise. Tell us about that.
Yes, our Pajama Praise. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. That's where we got started, Lynn. It's where we got started as a 2-day gathering. It's with renewal and spiritual refreshment. It's where women came from everywhere. You had the opportunity to, really exhale, get in the presence. We had where we had a segment where individuals were pampered. We had our massage guys and women there, spa, you name it. It's everything women, all pampering, just having fun. And that night, we was able to get in our PJs, not gowns, PJs, and praise the Lord. And the next day, it was a day of the Word, whether it be in the conference rooms where we go in, and there are individuals who have the different pathway sessions where individuals will go in and get certain things that they were needed in life at that time. And we will come together collectively as a group of women from different denominations, just coming together for one thing, and that was to worship God.
Oh, that's
I'm
beautiful.
excited about that. And then we would at the end of everything, we would surprise the women, and we had a room set up where nothing but clothing where they could go in and shop, because I've learned even then that we never know what women are going through. Mm-hmm. And because we knew some women at that point in time, they probably paid all they had to get to that event. So we wanted to make sure that we were always a blessing to the people that came in into our midst, whether it been something that we said or we done, but we will always just have a great time when they go in and shop, and they like, do we pay anything? No, it's free. Get what you need, as much as you need. Because in that day, we realized for some women, that was the clothes for their job.
Oh, that's beautiful. What are the ages of these women?
We, at that time, it was between 12 and, I think, 80 at that time.
Oh, it's everybody almost.
Oh, everybody. That was something from everyone. We had, for our young ladies, they had the opportunity to learn who they were as teens and dealing with the insecurity and self-esteem and things of that nature. Not only for them, for the adults as well.
Yeah.
Because, you know, as I'm just going to say, women, at some point in our lives, we deal with some form of self-esteem or with struggle or self-worth. You are somebody, but you got to believe it.
At all walks of life, we feel like that. You can wake up at any time and feel like you don't totally matter. So I think that's great to have that encouragement around you.
Oh my God, I just lit up when you said that. That's our heart right there, because that's where we started. You would see a lot of the pajama praise, our prayer breakfast, and it's amazing.
It is amazing. So what about relationships? I know Valentine's Day is around the corner, but what about relationships? Because when women are going through things like that, what do you say to a young woman that may be in a relationship or an older woman?
First of all, I say, how do you feel about yourself? Because in relationships, whether it's been dealing with your friends, or it's dealing with your spouse or whoever you may be with, if you don't feel good about yourself, that person, they're there just to enhance who you are. So if we rely on the individual to make us, then they can break us.
Oh, that's a good point. Say that again.
If we rely on someone, they should enhance us.
Right.
If we rely on them to make us, they can break us. So we have to know, again, that entering into any type of relationship, we're looking for that honesty, the integrity, the individuals to be trustworthy, to be kind, and most of all, safe. Safe when I'm with my girlfriends, I need to feel safe. If I'm with my husband, I need to feel safe. That
is the number one thing. And we all want relationships, but like you said, we have to take care of ourselves first. And that's a really big point, because we don't get that. You know, it may be years later before you hear that and say, oh, wow, that's true. Let me get myself together and let this person enhance who I am, not my happiness depends on them.
Right. Because we're so often looking at other people's relationships.
Ooh, that's so true. Ooh, that's true.
We see the outside. We don't know what's going on the inside. On the outside, it's projected that we lovey-dovey, we got it going on, but it's in reality, they got some rocky roads.
So we have to love ourselves. So even with Valentine's Day coming up, if you don't have anybody, go buy yourself some flowers, right?
So take yourself to dinner, to lunch, or whatever it may be, and celebrate yourself.
Ooh, you are giving some good knowledge. Let me ask you this final question before we wrap up about your organization, Women Empowering Women, the Next Generation Ministries. Where would you like to see your organization in 5 years?
I would like to see our organization in the next 5 years with apartment homes. So when the women come out and they don't have what they need as far as stable housing, then Women Empowering Women, we are there with our temporary housing and permanent housing. I would like to really see us build housing for women and for families, because men go through things as well. So we're not just excluding the men, because they make up the family as well. That's affordable housing for women and children and the families as a whole, and teach them about financial literacy. That's where I want us to be in 5 years, to say, when someone calls us, and because a lot of times there's not enough room and not enough space, and you have to put them in a hotel room, you know what, we have a space. That's where I want to see us, and I want to see us vibrant, even more vibrant in the community with a larger warehouse space, multiple trucks. So that means if we have multiple trucks, we're serving many, many families, and to employ back and gave to our organization, and we're able to, in turn, to say we want that person to become an employee of us, able to provide tools and resources where it's ongoing. We'll know at some point in time the person, we've done all we can do for it to help an individual, but they have enough to take away from us in order to go and build a more healthy and vibrant life with their family.
Now, you mentioned the permanent housing, because a lot of times people only have temporary housing and then they have to leave. Does that happen a lot?
Yes, it does. And I envision they start out, typically you're in a shelter, you get some type of temporary housing, but you do everything that you have to do to get to that stage to say, now I can get my own house, because there are steps along the way, and you're building equity along the way to get in your own house, so now you become a homeowner.
I think that's a really good plan. Cynthia McCarter-Williams, thank you so much for taking the time to share about this powerful organization, Women Empowering Women, the Next Generation Ministries. And we'll have to connect again so we can keep up with you and see what you're doing out there in the community. Yes, appreciate you, girl.
Thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. I'm Lynne Haze, and that's what's going on.